Hello, dear students. In our previous video, we have discussed, interacted, understand, and learn the life of John C., a student learner of painting, was in a leaves, ivy leaves, which she used to count one by one. She watching and looking her life like falling of leaves from ivy. The life of John C. is similar to it, but it was not so because she was pessimistic, but a man should optimistic. And in the same way, there was a optimistic man whose name was Old Behrman. Since his career started for painting, Old Behrman became failure lots of time. However, he still hopes that one day he will touch the perfection of painting through his art, and he will be famous for his painting. Okay, so you see in this line, from Old Behrman to this paragraph. Old Behrman was a painter who lived on the ground floor beneath them, means where John C. and Sue used to live in the same apartment or in the ground floor of the house Old Behrman lived. He was past 60, means he was at least 60 years old. Had a Michelangelo's Moses beard. It is the physical description of the Old Behrman, curling down from the head of his satire along the body of an imp. Behrman was a failure in art, as I mentioned you earlier. 40 years he had wielded the brush without getting near enough to touch the hem of his mistress' robe. He had been always about to paint a masterpiece. All the time he used to paint new art but could not achieve to the masterpiece. And every time he declared failure in art of the painting. For several years he had painted nothing except now and then a daub in the line of commerce or advertising. Means you have seen lots of painter used to paint the wall for advertising the different articles for the shopkeepers, for the brand of home appliances and other things. He earned a little by serving as a model to those young artists. but he was a model painter for the young painters in the colony who would not pay the price of a professional. Because when you start learning something, nobody will ask you to pay for your painting, but when you became master of any art, they start asking you your wages. So though old Behrman was not a famous artist by profession of painting, but however he works for advertisement and some other uh, articles, but he drank gin to excess and still talked of his coming masterpiece. But he was, as I mentioned you, he was an artist as a painter and waiting for his masterpiece. For the rest, he was a fierce little old man when scoffed terribly at softness in anyone, and who regarded himself as a special mastiff in waiting to protect the two young artists in the studio above. In the above studio in which John C. and Sue lived, they were also student learner in painting. Sue found Berman smelling strongly of juniper berries in his dimly lighted door den below. Means when Sue come downstairs, she thought to meet the old Behrman. In one corner was a blank canvas on an easel that had been waiting there for 25 years to receive the first line of the masterpiece. She told him of Jhansi's fancy. Jhansi was also very fancy regarding her life, regarding the art she wants to create as a painter, but could not able to do so, and still she is ill and counting leaves falling from the yard ivy leaves on hanging on the door of the house. And at the same time it was very difficult for her to allow herself as a as an optimistic person, and how she feared she would indeed light and fragile as a leaf herself. Means her life is falling like the leaves of the ivy tree, float away when her slight hold upon the world grew weaker, and the life of Johnsy as loose as the leaves of the ivy plant. Old Behrman understood the whole things of Johnsy. With his red eyes plainly streaming, shouted his contempt and derision for such idiotic imaginings. Was, he cried, is there people in the world meet the, here it is the village English spoken in Britain in 16th century or during the 15th century. He cried, is there people in the world meet their foolishness to die because leaves they drop up from a confounded vine? I have not heard of such a thing. No, I will not. Was as a model for your fool hermit. Dun- Dunderhead, why do you allow do silly punishes to come in her pran of her? Ah, that poor little Miss Yancey. See, he spoke the villages are as a illiterate in English, and she is very ill and weak, said Sue, and the fever has left her mind morbid and full of strange fancies. Very well, Mr. Parwan, if you do not care to pose for me, you needn't, but I think you are a horrid old flibberty gibbet. You are just like Bimenil Berman. You who said I will not, boss. Go on, I come meet you. For half an hour I have been trying to say, do I am ready to boss. Got this, not any wish in which one goat as Miss Johnsy shall lie sick. Someday I will be a masterpiece and we shall be go away got as. Johnsy was sleeping when they went upstairs to meet her. She pulled the shade down to window still and moans. Behrman into other room. In there they peered out the window fearfully at the ivy vine. Then they looked each other for a moment without speaking. A persistent cold rain was falling. Snow was falling there. Beach snow. Behrman in his old blue shirt as he used to and took his seat as the hermit. He took his seat as the hermit. Miner and an upturned kettle for a rock means they created such a scene in which there is a house and outside the house they are sitting a hermit and it is ivy uh, vine plant hanging down on the door of the house with dull wide open eyes staring at a dawn green shade and put it up. I want to see, she ordered in a whisper. Really, sus wait, okay. But a low after the beating rain and fierce gust of wind means old Berman was painting the leaves of the ivy vine out from the house in that cold and falling up snow. He started painting the ivy vine. It was the last on the vine, still dark green near its stem, but with its serrated edges tinted with the yellow of dissolution and decay. It hung bravely from a branch some 20 feet above the ground. Okay, old Berman painted a single leaf on the ivy vine that looks pale at the corner, okay, and but still hanging on its stem firmly, and you can say the leaf was brave and still hanging on it, and it is the last one, okay. And said Johnsy, I thought it would surely fall during the night, but she was unaware of the painting that is placed by old Behrman uh, when she was sleeping on the bed, and it was the painting in place of the falling ivy leaves from the door, okay. Dear, 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 said Sue, leaning her worn face down to the pillow. Think of me. If you won't think of yourself, what would you do? What Jansi did not answer. The long, lonesomest thing in all the world is soul when it is making ready to go on its mysterious far journey. The fancy seemed to possess her more strongly as one by one the ties that bound her to friendship and to earth were loosed. She lying on the bed thinking that means everything is going loose from the hand of the Johnsy. She thought of that she is going to die. No one will save her. No one can save her life. As she was pessimistic and her life steep for on the last leaf. As it will fall down, the life of Johnsy will fall down as she will die. But it was awkward situation for Sue, but she replaced the falling ivy plant with the painting of the old Behrman. They, the day wore away, and even though the twilight, they could see the lone ivy leaf clinging because it was the painting. Okay, to its stem against the wall, and then with the coming of the night, the north wind was again loosed. while the rain still beat against the windows and pattered down from the low Dutch eaves. When it was light enough, Johnsy the merciless commanded that the shade be raised. The I believe was still there. When the curtain was raised and window opened, she saw that the ivy leaf was still there. Though the leaf was not there, it was the painting of the old Behrman made at night for Johnsy. I have been had girls Sudi and Johnsy. Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how weak I was. It is a sin to born to die. You may bring me a little broth now and some milk with a little pot in it. And no, bring me a hand mirror first and then pack some pillows about me and I will sit up and watch you cook. An hour later she said, Sudi, someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. Johnsy said, I wanted to paint the Bay of Naples as earlier she mentioned in the opening line of the lesson. The doctor came in the afternoon, she and excused to go into the hallway as he left. Even chances, said the doctor, talking so thin, shaking hand in his with good nursing you will win. Means now hopes are still with the Sue and doctor said now the chance is getting well and now I must see another case I have downstairs. Behrman, his name is some kind of an artist. Doctor had to see the old Behrman. He also fell ill of pneumonia. I believe pneumonia too. He is an old weak man and the attack is acute. There is no hope for him, but he goes to the hospital today to be made more comfortable. The next day, the doctor said to Susie, out of danger, you have won nutrition and care now, that's all. And you compare the life of old Behrman with the life of Johnsy. Old Behrman sacrificed, dedicated his life by making painting for Johnsy's life, and old Behrman fell sick of pneumonia and died at the morning in the morning next day. I have something to tell you, White Mouse, she said. Mr. Behrman died of pneumonia. Today in hospital, he was ill only 2 days. Only 2 days he fell ill. The janitor found him on morning of the first day in his room downstairs, helpless with pain. His shoes and clothing were wet and icy cold. Why? Because he was making painting for the Johnsy. They couldn't imagine where he had been on such a dreadful night, and then they found a lantern still lighted in his house, out of the house. A lantern is still lighted, and a ladder then had been. He had taken a ladder and painting on the wall of the Johnsy to see that the last leaf is still there, and palette with green and yellow color mixed on it. And look out the window, dear, at the last ivy leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never fluttered or moved? It never fluttered or moved by the air. Why? Because it was the painting on the wall by old Behrman. The wind blew. Oh, darling, it's Behrman's masterpiece. Don't forget, dear, to save your life. He painted on the wall, and it is masterpiece of old Behrman. Though his life is not now, he passed away. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell, and the last leaf of the vine was about to fall. But before this, I requested, and he admitted the same painting for you and saved your life. But he sacrificed his life because it was too cold, snow was falling, it was icy night, and having the help of ladder and green yellow pants, he painted the wall with his breasts as a masterpiece, and he got the perfection. But we too here to see that masterpiece. Old Behrman, not now, he is passed away. So he sacrificed his life for you, and he saved you from the death. So in this story, dear students, we learn that we should be hopeful, optimistic, and always we take challenges of life, go ahead, and don't run away or go away from the difficulties. Face it with positive thoughts and with positive attitude, and you will success. And when you start thinking negatively and you don't um, pursue your destination, that that is the reason of our failure. So there is distance between failure and success, that is our thought. If you think positively, you will be positive and you will be success. If you think negative, you will be failure, and it brings you failures and hopelessness. Thank you for the day. The chapter of this lesson, the last clip, is over now. Comment me, go to the video and watch it uh, till the end to understand the whole lesson. Thank you for the day.